evening. Thanks a lot for staying with us here at CNN News 18. You're watching the biggest exclusive. I'm Ridhima Bhatnagar. Protests erupted across Hyderabad minutes after BJP MLA Raja Singh released a video making controversial comments against the Prophet. Following the protest, Raja Singh was arrested Tuesday morning, but the BJP leader defended himself, claiming that it was a comedy video and that he had made no mention as far as the Prophet is concerned. But the Telangana BJP MLA Tiger Raja Naval Singh Lodh, or as he is known, is actually not new to controversies. He is known to stir up a controversy every time he speaks, from threatening to behead those who oppose the Ram Temple and raise the houses of Uttar Pradesh voters who did not vote for Yogi Adityanath, to even calling for Rohingyas to be shot in the head. Counting this one, Raja Singh has more than 75 cases booked against him, mostly for hate and provocative speeches and even disruption of law and order. After the arrest, BJP MLA Raja Singh has now been suspended from the BJP. MIM chief and Hyderabad MP Assuddin Owaisi condemned Raja Singh's statement and launched a scathing attack on the BJP, saying that Hyderabad is known for its harmony, but the BJP is doing what it does best in destroying the social fabric of the city. Owaisi also said that now it's abundantly clear that BJP hates Muslims and the religion. But this is where it gets even more murkier. A video has now emerged of an MIM councillors with beheading threats and calls being made out in the open. So while the MIM is demanding action from the BJP, the question also is, will the MIM act on its own?
मुसलमानों को प्रोवोक करने के लिए और प्रॉफिट मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की शान में उन्होंने बेइज्जती करने की कोशिश की। साफ जाहिर होता है कि भाजपा मुसलमानों से और प्रॉफिट मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम से नफरत करती है।
So let's first talk to you about the IPC sections against Raja Singh. As we pointed out, he's been arrested and there's been action taken by the BJP as well. He's been suspended from the party. Section 295, insulting religion of a community. That's not the only section. There is also Section 505, promoting feelings of enmity. There is also Section 153A, which acts prejudicial to maintenance of harmony. But as I pointed out, as far as my introduction to the show was concerned, this BJP MLA Raja Singh actually is a serial offender. So let's break down those details. On the 19th of August, he tried to disrupt Munawar Farooqi's show in Hyderabad, though the show did happen with a lot of bandobast on the ground. He was taken into preventive custody with 50 others. Then, let's go back to the month of April as far as this year is concerned. Provocative speech during the Ram Navami Shobha Yatra as well. He was booked for creating nuisance and disturbing public peace. Let's go back to 2020 now. In the month of September, he was banned by social media platform Facebook, labeled as a dangerous individual. The social media post had said this, that Rohingyas should be shot, Muslims are traitors. Then let's go back even further to 2018. In poll affidavit declared 43 police cases against him, and as I pointed out, now with the recent count, more than 75 cases against him. At that time, the offences were delivering hate speeches, writing, and attempt to murder as well. Let's go back even further. In 2015, threatened Dadri-like action over planned beef festival. Said ready to kill or get killed to protect the cow. Again, in 2015, he was booked for assaulting a cop as well. So what really is happening, and what is the message that the BJP is trying to send? That yes, a suspension has taken place, but the larger question is, will that be enough? Let me bring in my colleague Arun Dhanta. That's the question, Arun, that yes, a suspension has taken place, but will that be enough to stop the bigotry?
Well, see, Ridhima, one thing is very clear that BJP is trying to ensure that whenever their worker, their karyakarta or their leader make such statement, they are forthcoming in taking action against them. Because, we had seen what happened in the case of Nupur Sharma and Naveen Kumar Jindal. BJP had faced a huge flack, not in the country, but even internationally as well. So, in fact, if you see the show cause notice which has been issued by the disciplinary committee of the BJP, it distanced itself from the Raja's statements, clearly saying that whatever T. Raja has said, that's not something which party endorses. For now, they have only suspended him. They have given him time for 10 days to react to it as to why he should not be expelled from the party. So after 10 days, once he gives his reply to that show cause notice, party will take further decision whether to expel him or not. BJP's sources are telling us that yes, T. Raja has a history of making controversial statements, but
Correct.
this time around what he said is not something which has gone down well with the top leadership of BJP, and therefore we had seen this action coming from the disciplinary committee of the BJP. And this is a message also, Ridhima, for future as well. All those workers, people who are associated with BJP, that they will have to be very, very cautious while making such statements, especially where you are speaking
Correct.
about another religion. That is something which is a clear indication and message given.
Okay, we really have to see how this plays out. Arun, thanks a lot for getting us those details. But as I pointed out that yes, there is action that is now being demanded from the BJP, the MIM is not far behind. So who really is inciting hate? Let's get you some examples where the heat has been mounted because of comments that have been made in the past by various MIM leaders. Let's begin with the month of June. On the 9th of June in 2022, Aswaddin Owaisi himself was booked for inciting social media messages. Remember, today he's come out all guns blazing saying the BJP is doing what it does best, destroying the fabric of what Hyderabad essentially represents. On the 18th of May, again in this year, in 2022, Danish Qureshi, an MIM leader, was arrested accused of derogatory remarks on Hindu deities. What we're also understanding, if you go back to 2021, in the month of December, a video of Gufran Noon urging Muslims to have more kids that had also emerged on various social media platforms. Then in April 2020, there was outrage over MIM's Waris Pathan's statement as well. 15 crore Muslims can dominate 100 crore Hindus. That was the comment that was made way back in 2020. So the question is, can the MIM really take that higher moral ground today when no action really has been taken as far as the MIM corporator is concerned? Let me first bring in my colleague Swastika Das, who's been tracking all these developments for us. Swastika, that really is the question. While the outrage over what Raja Singh did and said is justified, but what about the MIM themselves? Why no action has been taken?
Well, that was the question that was taken to MIM chief Assaduddin Owaisi, and he has distanced himself from this particular MIM worker. And in fact, there's not just one, but there are two MIM workers who are clearly seen in that video raising controversial slogans. But Assaduddin Owaisi says that the party has already taken appropriate action against them as soon as they saw the video go viral on social media, and also MIM leaders have given them a rap on the knuckles of sorts as far as Assaduddin Owaisi is concerned, and he has also asked the police to take action if it deems necessary against the MIM leader. But having said that, the political war of words when it comes to the derogatory comments made by Raja Singh, while one-sided version is that he did insult the Prophet, the other side, or the questions that are being raised, is the fact that appropriate action should also be taken against protesters who derided members of other communities as well, because religious sentiments, if you see, were hurt on both sides. And questions are being raised as to why the MIM leaders have not been booked by the police yet.
Absolutely. Swastika, thanks a lot for getting us all those details. And the political war of words is just not ending, because the Aam Aadmi Party has also now attacked the BJP. And the Aam Aadmi Party is saying this, that the centre is behind leaders like Raja making comments that insult the Prophet. Saurabh Bharadwaj of the Aam Aadmi Party has pointed out that even lawyers who fight in case for Nupur Sharma were in fact assigned by the BJP.
बीजेपी बलून टेस्टिंग करती है। नुपुर शर्मा ने जब बोला, मैं नहीं समझ सकता कि नुपुर शर्मा इतनी बड़ी नेता हैं कि वो अपनी मर्जी से इस तरीके का बयान दे दें, या ये एमएलए इतने बड़े नेता हैं कि अपनी मर्जी से इस तरह का बयान दे दें। ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी की प्रयोगशाला है। कहाँ पे इसका क्या असर पड़ता है, क्या दंगे हो सकते हैं, दंगे होंगे तो राजनीतिक फायदा मिल सकता है, इस तरीके के प्रयोग जो है भारतीय जनता पार्टी के केंद्रीय नेतृत्व के कहने पे ही हो रहे हैं। नुपुर शर्मा की जो दिल्ली पुलिस ने मदद की है, उनको गिरफ्तार नहीं किया इतने महीने तक, वो किसने की? दिल्ली पुलिस ने केंद्र सरकार के कहने की की थी।
Let me also bring in my colleague Rupashi, who tracks all developments as far as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned. Rupashi, take us through the attack that's coming in from the up.
Well, the Aam Aadmi Party is very clear. It is targeting the BJP and especially leaders right at the top. And the point that, or the argument that Aam Aadmi Party chief spokesperson Saurabh Bhardwaj is making is that MLAs on their own are not empowered to make these sort of statements that can be so, that can go, that can incite violence or have the potential to incite violence. And to, strengthen his own argument, he also said that when it comes to Nupur Sharma, that it is the BJP who has provided lawyers for Nupur Sharma herself. And therefore, this is not just an errant MLA who is making that remark, or an errant member of a particular party who is making that remark, but it is essentially being dictated right from the top. And his argument was that these are essentially the central government's way of testing waters. So that is a charge that has been leveled by the Aam Aadmi Party against on this particular issue.
Okay, Rupashi, thanks a lot for getting us all those details. So the question that we're asking this evening is, from the BJP to the MIM, who really is inciting hate? Let me also bring in our guests who've taken out the time to join us this evening. We'll have TRS leader Bachchu Srinivas. We have Syed Wakar, spokesperson of the MIM, Tushar Gupta, senior editor, Swaraj Magazine, and also Sai Shekhar, political analyst. Good to have all of you on the broadcast with us. Before I even get into the political posturing as far as the action that has been taken or the action that should be taken as far as the MIM is concerned, let's really recap a little and go back to where this problem actually began. And Bachchu Srinivas, I actually want to begin with you. All of this started because of a comedian's show that was supposed to take place as far as Hyderabad is concerned. The allegation against the TRS is, why would you even want to invite a comedian like Munawar Farooqi, who in the past has disgraced Hindu gods and goddesses? The problem began from there. The allegation is that you want to give people like Munawar Farooqi a platform.
First of all, good evening to everyone, and I am very happy to join the debate. My question is, what is wrong to inviting the Munawar Farooqi? There are allegations against Munawar Farooqi that he blamed earlier our Itihasic gods, Lord Rama and Sita, right? This is what exactly the people are speaking from Bharatiya Janata Party especially. Even the suspended MLA and arrested MLA, Mr. Raja Singh, spoken so many things.
Okay, we'll just try and reestablish that connection with Bachchu Srinivas.
Let me come.
Sure.
Who made the show very critical and very, he made a lot of comments on that. We'll stop, we object, and we do some dharnas, and we are going to stop at any cost. We never allow to do the comedy show. Why? Why he want to do such kind of, he want to make a partition between the religion? We are here given a permission from the government side. Government definitely will take it as a very prestige, and government will allow the show to become success. No doubt about that.
Okay.
And we did like that. And why these people are against to this? I would like to remember one thing.
Okay.
The Ramayana written by Valmiki. Valmiki is earlier, he is also a thief. He become Valmiki, Maharshi. Then Mr. Farooqi cannot change. Maybe he criticized.
Okay.
Maybe he criticized. I cannot deny he criticized. He will criticize all the time. If he criticizes, law will take its own action. Even government will take responsibility. Why
Okay.
these Bharatiya Janata
That's a
Party
larger
people want-
debate that is it now becoming a convenient pattern to have disgraceful comments being made as far as Hindu gods and goddesses are concerned, and when it's done with the other religion, everybody is up in arms. But I don't want to get into that as of now, because this is what I said when I started the show. Law should be equal for all. All religions need to be respected, and you cannot have disgraceful sentiments to either. So that is out of the way. Tushar, let me bring you in the conversation. When I started and I spoke about Raja Singh, today, yes, the BJP is saying, see, we've taken action. I'm not sure if this suspension really will have any larger impact, because this is a man who's an habitual offender. Should he even be in the party?
Good evening, Ridhima. Absolutely not. Such motormouths have no place in any party. It's not about the BJP. A person like this making derogatory statements that can cause communal violence, that can cause disturbance between two different communities, and can send out the wrong message to an entire community. It's absolutely wrong. So I don't see it as a BJP issue. I see it as a party issue, that no party would like a motormouth like that. But having said that, the BJP has done the right thing by suspending this MLA. I would rather have the BJP suspending such motormouths from the party membership, from whatever role they hold.
No, but he's only been suspended as of now. A 10-day period has been given. We don't know whether this will actually convert into an expulsion or not. And my larger actually issue is that from 2015 to 2018 to 2020 to now 2022, when you've had these instances in the past, why is he still in the party? Doesn't that then set a bad precedent, and you're opening floodgates as far as criticism from the opposition is concerned?
No, but look at what they did previously also. You had another case earlier this year when derogatory comments were made on the news debate. They were not shying away from taking action. They suspended the said member from the party and the position. That is what is going to happen to this MLA as well. But my point is, I would rather have the BJP take action against any member who makes derogatory comments than have them come out and defend it, as was the case with TMC. I would rather have the BJP come out and make the person apologize, as was the case with Nupur Sharma, than to come out and defend and add some intellectual flair to it, like the case with Mohima Muttra. So my point is that while the other parties can criticize the BJP, especially the likes of Aam Aadmi Party or TMC or the Congress, the truth is the TMC and the Congress, even Shashi Tharoor from the Congress, was defending what Mohima Muttra said about Hindu gods and goddesses. So why this different yardstick for both the parties? Yes, the BJP had to suspend them. They've done that. But what about the other parties that are criticizing the BJP today? If today this was a Congress MLA or a Congress MP making derogatory comments against Hindu gods and goddesses, you would have the entire entourage.
Fair enough. Tushar, you made your point. I'll come back to you on the larger issue. But Aseem Waqar, I want to bring you in, and I want to understand, while it's all fair to come out and criticize Raja Singh, and we heard what Assaduddin Owaisi said, that the fabric is being destroyed, this is what the BJP does best. Yes, ask them questions, demand action. Now a video is also surfaced where a corporator of your party can be seen in that video with chants of beheading which are made in the public. No action has been taken. Why not?
नहीं, वो गलत है. देखिए, हमारे संविधान में हम सबको प्रोटेस्ट करने का, प्रदर्शन करने का संवैधानिक अधिकार है, लेकिन उस संवैधानिक अधिकार में हम कोई भी असंवैधानिक इल्लीगल भाषा का इस्तेमाल नहीं कर सकते. वो गलत है, बिल्कुल गलत है. और असद साहब ने भी बोला है कि सून, अभी मैं देख रहा था
मुझे खुशी है कि आप आके बोल रहे हैं कि वो गलत है. पर क्या हुआ है कि अब ये डिफरेंट यार्डस्टिक्स लग रही हैं दोनों पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज के लिए. MIM सुबह ये कह रही थी कि बीजेपी सिर्फ अपने आप को डिस्टेंस नहीं कर सकती, एक्शन लेना चाहिए. तो आज MIM से भी यही सवाल पूछा जा रहा है कि आप उसको कंडेम कर रहे हैं, बहुत अच्छी बात है, पर एक्शन का क्या होगा?
नहीं, मैं बताऊं, देखिए सच्चाई कहां पर है. मैं भी एक चैनल पे बोल रहा था, तो राजा सिंह का एक वो बता रहे थे कि वो कहा कि हम भगवान के लिए कुछ भी कर सकते हो, ये है वो है. भारतीय जनता पार्टी के एक MP राज्यसभा नरेश अग्रवाल ने राज्यसभा में बीजेपी के सारे MPs और मिनिस्टर्स की उपस्थिति में, प्रेजेंस में, क्या क्या बोला था भगवानों के बारे में. वो क्या बोले थे, कविता पढ़ी थी शराब के बारे में.
सर, मैं उनसे सवाल पूछ रही हूँ, पर आज मैं आपके कॉर्पोरेटर के बारे में आपकी पार्टी से जानना चाहती हूँ जब असदुद्दीन ओवैसी बाहर आके बोलते हैं कि जो फैब्रिक हैदराबाद का वो खराब किया जा रहा है और बीजेपी को एक्शन लेना चाहिए, बीजेपी कह रही है हमने तो एक्शन ले लिया, हमने सस्पेंड कर दिया है, एमआईएम ने क्या करा है अभी तक?
नहीं, मैं अगर राज्यसभा में होता तो बीजेपी के एमपी हंस रहे थे और आसिम वकार जाके दौड़कर जबान पकड़ लेते नरेश अग्रवाल की कि भगवानों की बेहुरमती कैसे कर रहे हो तुम, बेइज्जती कर रहे हो, इंसल्ट कर रहे हो भगवानों की। ना आपने सवाल पूछा और आपको बुरा भी नहीं लग रहा है, मतलब कमाल देखिए आप।
सर मुझे
मैं आपको याद दिला रहा हूं कि एक एमपी पार्लियामेंट में बोल रहा था।
मेरा काम है सवाल पूछना। आज आप बहुत कन्वीनियंटली अपना गोल पोस्ट बदल सकते हैं, वो आपका काम है। मैंने शुरुआत ही बीजेपी से क्वेश्चन करा कि ये तो पास्ट ऑफेंडर है, ये पार्टी में क्यों है, वो आपने नहीं सुना होगा, तो आपके लिए भी काफी कन्वीनियंट हो रहा है। मैं आपसे फिर पूछना चाहती हूँ, अगर आपने कहा कि बीजेपी को एक्शन लेना चाहिए तो एमआईएम क्यों एक्शन नहीं ले रही है?
देखिए, स्वामी प्रसाद मौर्य ने भगवानों की बेइज्जती की थी और बीजेपी ने उनको कैबिनेट मंत्री
सर आप इधर से उधर एग्जांपल्स देते रहिए, गोल पोस्ट बदलते रहिए, आप अपने पार्टी का एक स्टैंड नहीं मुझे बता रहे हैं। आपके पार्टी का क्या स्टैंड है, आप ये बताइए, मुझे बाकी केस के पास भी जाना है।
गोल पोस्ट नहीं बदल रहा हूं, आप मेरी बात समझ नहीं पा रही हैं। असल में मैं कर क्या रहा हूं, मैं बीजेपी का ओरिजिनल चेहरा दिखा रहा हूं और आप समझ नहीं पा रही हैं। अब या तो आप समझने के बाद अनजान बन रही है, आप खुद ही गोल पोस्ट चेंज के ले रही है, कभी दाहिने भागे जा रही है, कभी खंबे पे छुपे जा रही है, कभी पेड़ के पीछे छुपे जा रही है।
नहीं ले रही है, उसका आप अभी तक मुझे जवाब नहीं दे पा रहे हैं। आप कुछ समय लीजिए, सोचिए कि आपकी पार्टी क्या एक्शन लेना चाहती है। लेट मी ब्रिंग इन एसआई शेखर एज वेल इन द कॉन्वर्सेशन। आई जस्ट वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड what is the example that is being set as far as political parties and their representatives today in the country are concerned, because as I pointed out, no political party can really take a higher moral ground. What is the precedent that we are setting?
It's a bad precedent. Precisely I can say this because we have much bigger issues and much bigger problems to worry about, and we are worried about gods and religion. I don't say one should not have faith or one should not worship gods and all, but that should be kept to personal thing, and everyone has to offer their prayers or whatever. It has to be very personal, and it is a highly respected thing. And unfortunately, legislators, politicians, political formations, political parties, governments, they're all taking stands on religious issues which are totally uncalled for, and they debilitate the society. And they actually, won't augur. They don't augur well for the well-being of the society. India is still a third world country. We need to worry about feeding the hungry stomachs. This is what I have been advocating from the beginning of my career, and this is what it is, boss. It's the MLA's statement against that Munawar Faruqi's show, and then today's observations in his video that he has released, they are all totally uncalled for, and it is not right. And BJP has taken an action against him, and if BJP is thinking that it has acted upon it, but suspension is not a punishment per se. They have it is and I think it's an eyewash. That is what I feel.
As far as the suspension is concerned, it's interesting that you're saying that, because I was trying to get some sort of a clarity as far as the MIM's position is concerned. I'm now being told by my producers that the MIM spokesperson, in fact, has decided to leave the show without actually giving us some sort of clarity of what the position of the MIM is. But Tushar, I believe you want to come in?
Ridhima, see, that is the problem. A BJP MLA makes a derogatory statement about other community. He's suspended. That's a correct action. Now, some might say that the action is not enough. I can agree to that. But when someone comes on the show and says that a person giving a beheading call against that BJP MLA is illegal bhasha, that is what worries me. Criticize BJP as much as you want. Criticize the words of the BJP MLA as much as you want. This was the same case with Nupur Sharma also. But take a clear stand against the beheading calls that are being made. Take a clear stand that violence will not be an answer to any derogatory remark. Why can no one do that? Why is it that every time a beheading call is made, and not just today, earlier also in the case of Nupur Sharma, people defend it as a natural reaction to the BJP. People defend it as a natural reaction to the minority, imaginary minority atrocities by the BJP. Why is it that no one wants to say that, yes, some derogatory remarks were made, yes, the action has been taken, it's not good enough, maybe, but we cannot afford anyone making a beheading call. Why does no one want to take a clear stand against violence is what I don't understand. You can criticize the party, take the political stand, attack them politically, but why give cover fire so as to speak to all these beheading calls? That is what worries me.
No, so who do you think is this section or this lobby who is not taking a stand? Who do you think wants a whitewash as far as, or an eyewash as far as this issue is concerned?
You're asking me?
Tushar.
I'm sorry, is that question for me?
Yeah, that was for you, Tushar.
Oh.
Tushar,
am I audible?
We can hear you, Tushar. Go ahead.
I'm audible.
Okay, we'll just try and fix that issue. But I just wanted to take on from what Tushar was saying and go back to Sai Sekhar. So taking on from what Tushar is saying, he's saying there is a section or a lobby that doesn't want to take a stand, and that is resulting in these multiple episodes. So who is this lobby that doesn't want to take a stand?
Lobby, both parties on both sides, every side which is talking about religion. Why religion is becoming a prime part of governance or election or politics. People have hungry stomachs. Let us concentrate and let us focus on development, and then filling the hungry stomachs and helping the fellow men. Why religion is taking primacy over everything, and it is provoking the tempers, and frayed tempers are not good for a harmonious society, which is not right. And it is not the question of lobbies and all. See, people are divided on the religious lines and are being seen as vote banks by vested interests of political parties. This is not actually right. This kind of trend is highly condemnable. We have to focus on development. We have to focus on filling the hungry stomachs and some welfare, some development, and then taking the society forward. We have been talking about entering into 21st century for the last 20 years, but then nothing happened. This is not right. These lobbies and all, not right.
True.
People who are in positions of
True.
authority.
I want to go back to Bachchu Srinivas also, but quickly, Tushar, you want to come in?
Ridhima, they talk about development, society, progress. No progressive society, no human development index or, a community has place for beheading calls. Again, even if you want to talk about development, about progress, about modern thinking, again, you have to take a clear stand against such beheading calls that are made in the name of religion.
Yeah,
yet no one wants to
religious
do that. That's the
comments
point.
all violence should be condemned. I'm telling you, all violence should be condemned. All violent remarks should be condemned. And this is not the primary topic of India at the moment. What kind of crisis we are falling down and down on all indices across the globe.
True.
Where is India standing on hunger index?
True. So the larger issue that Sai Sekhar is making is that, is this the priority as far as the country is concerned? Why are we letting ourselves being swayed as far as this religious narrative is concerned? But Sai Sekhar, I want to then understand, because as I said, no political party can really take a higher moral ground. Where does the buck stop? What is the accountability as far as these political parties are concerned?
I think political parties have to. There is no hard and fast rule, and the Constitution has not provided for that. So they have to do an introspection.
Okay, Sai Sekhar, let Bachchu Srinivas come in. Okay. Bachchu Srinivas, that question was for you. Taking on from what Sai Sekhar is saying, this is not the real priorities. Why are we allowing ourselves to be swayed as far as this religious narrative is concerned? Where does the buck stop? What about the accountability of the political parties?
Political parties they have to introspect within themselves and
1 minute.
set new rules.
Sai Sekhar, let Bachchu Srinivas come in, please. That question was for Bachchu Srinivas, please.
No, we especially in Telangana Rashtra Samiti is concerned about the welfare, development, stability, and these kind of terms we follow. We never see the religion, we never see the caste. That's only the thing which we have seen in the last 8.5 years, which was born 8.5 years back, the Telangana, which is competing all the 29 states of India today. That's why the industrial progress, any kind of progress, the welfare, the agriculture today in Hyderabad, the industrialization, whatever you would like to compare in the nation, we concentrate on those things. We never polarize the religion, or we don't worry about the votes of the people on religion based or caste based. We don't worry about that. You have seen our especially our IT minister, how the IT growth in Hyderabad and how
Okay.
even people from Karnataka, from Bangalore also people, entrepreneurs are coming forward to Hyderabad.
Okay.
This
So
is
TR
the
is
growth
not
in
leaving
Hyderabad
this
going on.
opportunity to make their own poll page as far as Hyderabad is concerned, taking pot shots at a narrative that they're alleging that has been said by the BJP. Protests have once again broken out against Raja Singh in Hyderabad. Where will this go? We'll keep tracking all those developments. Like to thank all our guests. It's a wrap from my side. Plain Speak is up next.